And good evening, and welcome to the Split Decisions Racing League Triple Threat Challenge. This is I believe, the last race of the season. It is a fun race this evening. We will have some multi-class racing tonight. We have three different classes. We have the Next Gen Cup cars, the Gander Mountain Camping World trucks, and the Xfinity Series cars tonight. So this will be an interesting race. Three different classes. It looks like we've got it pretty even split. We've got four drivers in each class, except with one of the classes having five drivers tonight. And we appreciate you tuning in tonight here at Soak Tires Broadcasting. My name is Kevin McCann in the booth here. Alongside me is Brian McCann, who I joke around is the slower McCann. How you doing, Brian?
Is that what you're going to lead with?
That's what we're going to lead with tonight. Throwing a little shade. But the guys will grid up here. And qualifying just wrapped up, so we will be gridding up, and we'll go over the gridding order here in just a second. So starting on pole tonight will be Matthew Kopp, and we've actually raced with Matthew Kopp in a different league. I can't remember which one, but the name is familiar. Starting second is Roger, and I do apologize, Roger. I'm going to butcher your last name, but we'll go with Muth. Third, Ryan Johnson. Fourth, Chris Wheeler. Fifth, Dave Gilbert Jr. And sixth, Kevin Bernheimer. Seventh, William Klingbeil. Eighth, Jeff Ramsdale. Ninth, Michael Gitchell. 10th, Adam Benefiel. 11th, Mark Ackerman. And 12th, we have David Desparos. 13th, we have Tom Stevens. 14th, Vinny Tabai. And 15th, Luke Smith, who I don't believe has gridded, but the rest of the guys are gridding up, and we will get on over and get ready for this race. We're at Michigan tonight. It is a timed race. We have 95 minutes, and let's just jump right into the race analysis, shall we? So 95-minute race. Stage 1 will end at 30 minutes. Stage 2 will end at 60 minutes. They have two quick repairs tonight. And I believe we do have a little mistake there. Tire sets do say 4, but I believe the guys have unlimited tires tonight. So tires will not be an issue. All right, so the guys, again, they are gridding up, and we should get going here pretty soon. And now they do start to get out on the track here behind that pace car. We'll do one lap around under caution, and then we will get going into green. But before we do that, I did want to bring in a guest up here into the booth. Give me 1 second. Hey, David, it's Kevin up here in the booth. You got a copy?
Yeah, how you doing, bud?
Hey, doing great. So, good turnout tonight. We got 15 cars with some multi-class racing. 95 minutes here at Michigan. How you feeling tonight?
Yeah, we're feeling pretty good. This is a fun race. It's the end of our season. Our championship race was last week, and so right now I'm normally running in the Cup class, so we've mixed it up a little bit. So I got bumped down to the trucks. So all of our expert drivers are down in the trucks tonight. So it should be fun and exciting. See how they handle racing against the other faster cars.
Oh, definitely. And we're excited to see it up here. Multi-class brings a whole different challenge. So best of luck to you. And hopefully we'll be talking to you at the end of the race in the top 3.
Yeah, thank you for doing this for us tonight.
Yeah, no problem.
Yeah, it's interesting. 3 different cars here, and they're all within 5/10 of each other.
I was noticing that in qualifying. That is it is very interesting. So we'll have to see what happens here as they come to the green flag here. And it looks like we do have the Xfinity cars actually in the lead here with Matthew Kopp and Roger Muth. And I'm going to go ahead and apologize to Roger again. I'm sure that's not how you pronounce his last name, but we just jumped right into this. But we're going to go 3 wide right here in turn 2. The 22 there of Chris Wheeler in the trucks there, and the 38 of Ryan Johnson already hooked up here going down this back stretch. Little bump drafting. And Michigan being one of the larger tracks, draft is a huge player here, especially in the lower horsepower cars like the Xfinity and the trucks. So it'll be interesting to see who teams up tonight, who gets in the draft, who loses the draft, and what they can do on pit strategy if that does come into play tonight.
And I'm watching the next gen cars. They're charging up through the field fast right now.
Yes, they are. And just a reminder, so I really like what this league does, but they actually they have 3 different classes for a reason. They classify their drivers by skill. So they have put their most experienced drivers tonight in the trucks, which are arguably the slowest of the 3. And then they've got their beginner drivers in the next gen, which, should be the fastest cars. And then the rest are in the Xfinity series. So you've got some really fast drivers in these trucks who are hanging in there, making it work. Challenging these Xfinity series cars and these next gen cars here. And I've got to say, I did not expect the racing to be this tight, especially this early on. But as we say that, we do have one of the next gen car drivers, William Klingbeil here. The number 83 does come out and take an early lead here, wrapping up lap 4 or 2 minutes, a little over 2 minutes in. And he's got another next gen car driver right behind him, Michael Gitchell. The number 48 there is right on his tail. Third, we've got Jeff Ramsdale. Fourth, Mac Ackerman. All of the top 4 are in the next gen series cars right now. Let's go back here. We've got 3 trucks hooked up right here. We've got the 22 of Chris Wheeler, the 28 of Kevin Bernheimer, and the 38 of Ryan Johnson. All within the draft here. They've got an Xfinity Series car, Roger Muth, there in between them and the lead pack. And we see some great 2 wide, 3 wide action there early on in the race. And that's one of the things, having 2 quick repairs. You can get a bit more aggressive very early on in the race than you normally would. Because you do have the ability, if you are caught up in an early caution and get damaged, you can come down to pit road, get a brand new car, and get back out there and still challenge for the win later on. So we see here the top 4 of the next gen cars are pulling away. We do still have our number 83 William Klingbeil there in the lead. And moving further back here, we've got the 28 of Kevin Bernheimer challenging the 39 of Roger Muth there in the Xfinity Series car for that 5th place. And it looks like he is going to grab that. It's amazing. You see just how much the trucks series there with the lower horsepower loses on the straightaways. Gains it back in the turns, but then on the straightaways here, that Xfinity Series car is just going to pull on them on the straightaway. Oh, and we're going to go 3 wide there. The 38 of Ryan Johnson there put it under the 39 of Roger Muth.
It makes for interesting racing.
Definitely, it's a different dynamic, especially when you're racing around cars that have more horsepower, have more downforce, less downforce, whatever. It's different from what you're in, so that's going to change your strategy up drastically. You know, how do you work your way around that car, that Xfinity Series car, for example, that number 39? He's faster on the straights. It looks like these trucks have a little more corner grip, are able maybe a little more downforce with their setup than the Xfinity Series cars. We do know historically the Xfinity Series cars are very low downforce cars, tend to slide all over the track, especially on these faster tracks. And you can really tell it here, just the drastic speed difference in the corners. But on the straightaway, especially in the draft there, the 39 is just able to pull back under him. And we really see a couple different lines. Now, it may be forced because they are running in traffic, but it is Michigan, and we've all raced Michigan before. It's a very popular track on iRacing, and it can be a multi-groove track, especially depending on the setup. That is, you know, if it's a tighter setup, which they typically run here if they're running one of the fixed setups, it can really turn into a multi-groove racetrack. With a couple different lines. Typically you'll see them straddle that first dark line right above the yellow line, get their left sides below it, right sides above it. It is a progressive banking track, but as that right front tire starts to wear out, you will see the guys move up higher into the track. We'll go up here and check on our lead pack here. We've got the 83 of William Klingbeil still out front, and the 48 of Michael Glitchell right behind him, the 37 of Mark Ackerman, and the 24 car. Well, 24 on his paint, but in iRacing he is scored as the number 97. And we just wrapped up 7.5 minutes here, and just a reminder, they will go to 30 minutes. We'll end stage 1, and we will expect everyone to come down pit lane by then. They are running, what did you say the fuel percentage was, Brian? 60%, I believe?
50 or 60, yeah.
Yeah, so they are running a lower fuel load in these cars. We didn't have a chance to get out there and talk to the drivers and see what the fuel run was going to be specifically. 30 minutes is quite a long time for a fuel run, so we might see some green flag pit stops if we continue green here before the end of stage 1. And we can see the 22 there of Chris Wheeler in the truck, and the 38 of Ryan Johnson there. They have moved, especially in turn 1 and 2 there, they moved all the way up into that top groove. Wow, he's the 22 there getting really close to the wall.
Yeah, it looked like he got loose a little bit too.
Yeah, it looked like he slid up the track a little bit, which, you know, we're 9 minutes in, 14 laps in. You're definitely going to have some tire fall off at this point. You know, just depending on how hard you've been pushing for the beginning of this race here. So it looks like the 22 there is just holding on for everything he has, just trying to keep that truck under him. As you can see, he took the high line again. And I can tell you, he looks like he's under more control. He's doing sort of a high entry, low exit, which, you know, can be a very good line here. But he did give up the position there to the 38 of Ryan Johnson. As you can see, now he's dropping down below, taking that bottom line. And I can tell you right now, on old tires, that bottom line in the truck at Michigan you just better buckle up, because that thing is either going to push up the track really tight or it's going to be loose. And it's just not going to be comfortable no matter what. But I can tell you one thing I am surprised to see. I'm surprised to see the trucks being the predominant second class here. The Xfinity Series cars have fallen back, and in fact, you've got all the way back to 9th place there. The 39 of Roger Muth, who started up front, has fallen all the way back to 9th. Check in here with Matthew Kopp.
I'm hearing some reports of some pit activity.
And we do have somebody on pit road here. We've got David Gilbert Jr., who is in the number 7 truck, coming down pit road here. It's about 17 laps in, 11 minutes in. So yeah, that fuel load, 60% fuel load, it looks like we are going to have maybe multiple green flag stops. Oh, and it looks like he just missed his pit stall. Oh, that's going to be that's a costly mistake here under green flag.
And I just so happened to see the number 68 car hit the wall coming out of turn 2. He kept it straight and on the track, but he's probably got damage off of it.
The 68 of David Desparos. Does look like he's still going. Let's see if we can get a better look at the right side of that car. Yeah, doesn't look too bad from what we can tell. Maybe just a little cosmetic damage, but definitely nothing that should slow him down tonight. Michigan being one of the larger tracks, over 1.5 miles, aero is important here, but we're getting close to pit cycles, and he can choose to use one of his quick repairs when he does make his green flag pit stop. So, you know, shouldn't lose too much time here with an early mistake like that.
We also had Kevin in the number 12 truck come in and pit.
Yep, we've had, let's double check here and see who all we've had pit.
Oh, my bad, 28.
Yep, so we've had the number 10 of Luke Smith, the 28 of Kevin Bernheimer, and the number 7 all take to pit road here so far. And you can see that Kevin and Dave are a lap down from those green flag pit stops. But we should expect these guys up front into the pits anytime now. And it'll be interesting to see if any of these top 5 here in these next gen cars are, you know, teammates. Are they going to pit together? Are they going to try to beat each other by pitting early and undercutting the next one? And we've got a couple more takers to pit road here. We've got the 38 of Ryan Johnson and the 22 of Chris Wheeler. So we'll watch them. Hope for a good pit entry here. Oh, 38 slid forward in his box, but was able to back up very quickly. Maybe lost about a second or two there, nothing big. Chris Wheeler looked like he had a good pit entrance. We'll go back up front here. These guys are racing pretty close here. We'll ride on board the 48 here, Michael Gichel, and just try to get a sense of, we want to see if he's lifting, if he's taking it easy, or is he actually trying to make a move on this 83 here for the lead. And you can just get a sense of how much downforce these next gen cars have. Just able to hug the bottom side of the track with little to no effort. We did see a bit of a wiggle there out of the 83. Looks like he got a little loose on the exit of turn 3 there. But it looks like these cars are driving pretty neutral. I don't see any symptoms of a lot of pushing or a lot of oversteer into the corner.
The lines that they're taking, you know, is similar to how you would drive at Daytona. Like you said, they've got so much downforce, they just drive like rails.
Yep,
Drive like their own rails.
Yep, and just hugging that bottom line of the racetrack there. Oh, one of the Xfinity Series cars here, the number 68 of David Desperos, got a bit out of shape there on his entry into the pits there for his green flag pit stop. We just caught the tail end of that. We'll try to go back here. Let's take a look and see if he may be getting a penalty for speeding. You can see there he just locks up the front tires, gets into the grass a little bit, but it looks like he got it slowed down and in shape before the yellow cones there, so he should be penalty free hopefully. And it looks like we've got a next gen car in as well, the number 9 of Adam Benefiel, who was, I believe he was running about 9 seconds behind that lead pack. So he's going to come in early by himself, get fresh tires, and maybe see if he can undercut that lead pack there and make up some time. And we are just a little over halfway into stage 1. So it looks like at least these next gen cars, and just looking through the field here at the Xfinity Series. Yep, it looks like everybody should be able to make it on just one stop, except for a little concerned about Dave Gilbert Jr. in the truck. He stopped on lap 16. I believe he may have to pit again. But we got the lead pack of 4 here coming into the pits. Looks like the 24 there, Jeff Ramsdale there, overshot his pit box just a little bit, had to reverse back into it, so he's going to lose some time here on this pit exit. Number 83 of William Klingbeil is going to retain the lead. Right behind him, the number 48 of Michael Gichel. As they rejoin the pack here. So let's just take a look at it. Looks like that lead pack did get spread out quite a bit on those green flag pit stops. And we talk about this all the time whenever we're either in a race or we're broadcasting a race, but you can win or lose a race on a green flag pit stop. You can definitely lose one, and that seems to happen more often than not. That's where mistakes are made. It's all about your entry into the pits and your exit and making no mistakes. And it's a difficult thing to master.
The second in pits is the second on track, right?
Very true. In fact, I unfortunately blew a race win last night on a green flag pit stop. Bit of a sore spot with me, but
Did you learn anything out of that?
I did. Don't jump into the IndyCar without practicing. That was my takeaway from that. You can see the 48 has caught right up against the back here of the 83, so that tells us at least the draft here is very strong, because there was a big gap when they exited the pits of about a second, and it looks like the 48 has already caught all the way up to the rear bumper there, the 83. Let's jump back here. We've got the 22 of Chris Wheeler right on the tail of the number 9 Adam Benefiel. And the number 9 is in a next gen car. The 22 is in a truck series. So I'm curious here. We're going to ride on board the 22. I want to see the performance difference out of these two. And it looks like this, the 22 here, Chris Wheeler, he's able to pull up to the rear of that next gen car in the draft. That's something that surprises me on this larger track. But corner speed on that next gen car is much better than these low downforce trucks. And it looks like David Gilbert Jr., the number 7 there, who pitted early on lap 16, is back in the pits for another green flag pit stop. And that's what I mentioned earlier. He pitted a little bit earlier than everyone else, and I didn't think he was going to be able to make it to that stage 1 break at 30 minutes, which is about 8 minutes away. So
And
he's
a few laps ago, I saw Kevin pit as well.
Yep, Kevin Bernheimer also into the pits on lap 28. So it looks like these trucks, at least 2 of them, have chose to make this a 2-stop stage here. Which, it's too early to tell if that's a good or a bad strategy. With the stage racing, you do always have the option to pit early right before the stage ends, gain some track position. So we'll just have to see how things work themselves out here in about another 7 minutes when this stage 1 will end. So we've actually, for the lead here, for the top 5, we've got 2 packs that have formed. We've got the 48 and the 83, our lead pack here in these next gen cars. And then about 5 seconds behind them, we've got the 37 of Mark Ackerman and the 24 there of Jeff Ramsdale. So we've got 2 2-car packs in our top 4. The 5th place car, the number 9 there of Adam Benefiel, he is all by himself, about 14 seconds off of the lead. And then you can see right behind him there, we've got that 22 of Chris Wheeler, who has he's been running that high line most of the night there. And we saw it looked like he just scraped the wall a little bit, but let's ride on board with him here as he runs that high line around Michigan, which I can tell you is a very difficult line to run. So I'm going to go ahead and give him some kudos here, and let's ride on board here with about 6 minutes left before the end of stage 1. And I can tell you right now, Brian, I like what I'm seeing here out of Chris Wheeler. I see him changing up his line lap after lap after lap, turn after turn. It looks like he's searching for the speed. He's searching for the grip. We know the tires are, let's see what lap he pitted on. Pitted on lap 20. We're on lap 36 now, so he's on very worn down tires. And it looks like he's just out there searching for that speed. It's early on in stage 1. This is the time to do it and figure out what's going to work on those long runs, what's going to work in those short runs.
Kevin behind him has been running him down very quick, almost a second a lap here, and he's going to pass him here in probably his next lap.
Yep, the 28 here of Kevin Bernheimer. Let's see, he pitted on lap 28 versus Chris Wheeler in lap 20, so about 8 lap fresher tires plus the draft. and we'll just ride on board these two here and just see how this battle unfolds. You can see Kevin there getting a little side draft alongside the 22 there. He's going to take the high line. 22 is going to stay on the bottom, and around he goes. He forced the 22 there down low, and the 22 had to get out of the gas, and the 28 there, Kevin, is going to go right around him. But all that to say, the 28, oh, and here we go. I was just about ready to talk about that. The 22 is coming into the pits all out of shape. It looked like he got it slowed down enough.
Yeah, I think he made it.
I think he made it, but that was very close. That was a very fast pit entry. And I can already tell you that Chris Wheeler is probably one of the more skilled drivers out here. Oh, but a costly mistake there. Overshoots the pit box, has to reverse. Gonna lose a second or two here on pit lane. But he is battling the 38 of Ryan Johnson and the 28 of Kevin Bernheimer, so we'll need to see here how they come out onto the track. So the 38 of Ryan Johnson goes around him, and the 28 of Kevin Bernheimer is going to go around him as well. So that strategy of Chris Wheeler there, running long and using up his last pit stop right before stage 2, is going to shuffle him back all the way to 11th place. However, with only 3 minutes left to go, it's entirely possible that the 22 here does not pit in the stage break and gain some track position. We'll go up here and we'll check out our leaders here. The number 83 of William Klingbell still in the lead. The number 48 of Michael Gitchell right behind him. These two have been nose to tail most of the race. Looks like they are complacent, just pulling away. Got about a 6.5 second gap all the way back there to the number 97 of Jeff Ramsdale, and which is another 2-car pack here in these next gen cars. Let's check in on our Xfinity Series drivers here. We've got the let's see here, we've got Roger Muth, Matthew Kopp, who Matthew Kopp currently a lap down. Roger Muth here on the lead lap. Looks like he's battling a Truck Series driver there. The number 7 of Dave Gilbert, who is a lap down. So David's just unlapping himself there. And then on back further, we've got the number 68 of David Desperos, who looks like he's reeling in a couple truck drivers there. The number 10 of Luke Smith and the number 28 of Kevin Bernheimer. And this is a pretty good battle here we got going on with about a minute left in this stage. This is for position. The number 10 there making the pass on the number 28. And I'm just curious to see. Yes, the number 10 has much fresher tires. He pitted on lap 34. 28 pitted on lap 28. So fresher tires, was able to make that pass. As we come up less than a minute, and we will be taking our first stage 1 break. And checking in with our leaders here. Oh, we'll go back to our leaders here. Still status quo, 83 out front. And the number 7 there, David Gilbert, bringing up the last car here. Scored in position 13. And that first stage caution does come out. Now, I was talking with David a little bit, who, by the way, those of you that don't know David Gilbert, I believe he is one of the guys that puts on the show in this league here, one of the admins. He was saying that they would give waiver rounds in the stage breaks, if I'm not mistaken. So we should see all the way from 7th on back get back on the lead lap. As you can see, they are queuing up now behind the pace car, who is just going into turn 3 now. And we will watch closely to see who's going to take to the pits, who pulled that strategy of pitting right before the stage ended just to gain some track position. So we've got one stage under our belts here, Brian. I can tell you this is our first experience, at least broadcasting a multi-class race. What are your thoughts so far? Oh, and it looks like we may have lost our partner here up in the booth, but that's okay. He may be experiencing some technical difficulties. Hopefully he'll be back soon. But we looks like all of the field actually comes down to pit road here. So it looks like everybody is going to take advantage of this stage break. And I do believe the waiver rounds will be given after this. So that does make sense. Even if you were a lap down, come to pit road, get fresh tires, fresh fuel. Full load of fuel, and get back out there. They'll get a wave around, get back on the lead lap, and then we'll go racing in stage 2, which will be another 30-minute segment, and will end at the 60-minute mark. And then our last stage will go all the way to the 95-minute mark, so it will be a tad bit longer. We'll go 35 minutes in that last stage. And interesting here, the number 9 of Adam Benefil actually came out in the lead out of that pit sequence there. So that tells me, just looking at his pit time, it was about half of the other guys at 8 seconds. Everybody else was around that 14, 15 second mark. The number 9 here took 2 tires or fuel only. But most likely 2 tires, probably took right side tires just to gain that track position, which, you know, might not be a bad play. He was 5th before he came into the pits. Now he's going to be in the lead. And it looks like these next gen cars do have some difficulty passing out here. So track position could be pretty important here for this next stage.
Do they go at a set time, or is it just when the pace car turns his lights off, lets him go?
Looks like they are going to go green when they come to the start finish line this time. Pace lights are off on the pace car. And the guys taking their wave around right now to get back on the lead lap. So it looks like we will be going green here.
Hang on, we're not going green, not going green.
They threw the caution again, extended.
Yep, they extended it one more lap just to let those guys that got the wave around there catch back up to the tail end of the field. All right, so it looks like the split right now. We've got the next gen cars out front. We've got the Xfinity Series cars in the middle here, with Roger Muth leading them up here in 6th position. And then we've got all the Truck Series drivers, Ryan Johnson leading them in 9th place here. But it's very interesting to see them all grouped up like this. But we did see once the green flag dropped that it looks like some of these Truck Series drivers were able to pass the Xfinity Series cars, running very equal lap times. And that's one thing I've noticed in the Xfinity Series car, the leagues that we run, and it seems like the tire drop off on those cars is much more drastic than maybe the trucks or the Cup Series cars. So it looks like the Xfinity Series cars can hang on there for, you know, while the tires are still fresh for the first 5 laps or so. But then those trucks, you know, they're able to slip on by there eventually in the long run. And we are going to come and take the green flag here. Pace car is off. The number 9 of Adam Benefiel, our new leader, who was running about 5th place before stage 1 caution came out. Took 2 tires, took a gamble. He's out front. And let's see if he can hold off the number 83 there, who has led most of this race. So far, coming out of turn 2 there, we can see the number 9 hugging the bottom side of that track. And just like your comment earlier, Brian, this looks a lot like running Daytona. Wow, we've got the 48 with 2 tires below the yellow line on the apron and making it work. He's going to dive to the bottom here. What a move. I haven't driven the next gen car at Michigan per se, but I can tell you, anytime you dip 2 tires down on the apron, you're in for a wild ride, and he made it stick and he made it work.
Yeah, that's interesting. I can't wait to drive those cars.
Let's go back and let's look at that pass for the lead here. It was just a little bit late there on our replay, but you can see him going by there. Make that pass. And the 48 is going to retain the lead here with the number 24 there, Jeff Ramsdale behind him. The number 83, who's been our leader most of the race, of William Klingbeil. He is in 3rd place, and then we've got the 37 of Mark Ackerman right behind him. And we can already see just a few laps into the 2nd stage here that the Truck Series drivers have gotten around there, the Xfinity Series car there, Roger Muth. And we'll go up here, and the trucks are actually hanging with the next gen cars there. We saw almost some contact there out of the 28 there of Kevin Bernheimer going into turn 1 and 2 there. Had to check up, got almost into the outside wall, but he's going to keep it going. The number 10 there, Luke Smith, going to challenge him on the outside lane. We'll ride on board the number 10 truck here of Luke Smith and see what he's got for Kevin Bernheimer going into turn 1 and 2. And just riding on board of Luke Smith here, it seems like the trucks are still wide open. Not much throttle lift at all, but we will see as those tires wear down, they will have to lift more and more. look at this view right here. This is behind Kevin Bernheimer, who is the lead truck. Got a major pack behind him, all looking to get around him here. And this is just great Michigan pack racing right here.
Yeah, 3 wide.
We get 3 wide. The 28 coming down there to the bottom lane. It looks like that number 10 of Luke Smith's trying to make that high side work. I just don't think the tire wear is there to make that high line work yet. You'll see that high line come into play a little longer into the tire run. It just doesn't look like it has the speed yet. We've got the 22 here of Chris Wheeler coming into the mix. Looking to make it 3 wide here on the front stretch. Yes, he is going to make it 3 wide. We're going to go in 3 wide here into turn 1 and 2. It's one of the great things about Michigan's really wide track, lots of room. 3 wide is no problem, especially for some experienced drivers, and you can see they all make it through there clean. The 22 does advance all the way up into 10th place there, right behind the 28 of Kevin Bernheimer. And we'll see if he has anything for him.
Truck out in the wall.
Oh, number 7, David Gilbert into the wall. And does look like he has a little bit of right front damage there. Oh yeah, damage all along the right side of that truck there. Aero damage at Michigan is a very bad thing. Going to slow his lap time down drastically. And we're pretty early on into stage 2 here, so that's going to be a costly mistake for him. You can see the 22 there going to try the high line now. Looks like the 28 of Kevin Bernheimer there is riding in the preferred line, especially on new tires. Which is, the best way to describe it is it's that second lane up. If you see those dark lines in the track, they will be in that second set of them there. Remember, Michigan is a progressive banking track. So the higher up in the turns you go, the more banking you have. Helps the car or truck rotate more. And the 22 is going to clear the 28, and the 38 of Ryan Johnson there. Going to try the bottom line and see if he can get a slingshot around the 22. These guys are just just all jostling for positions back here. These 4 have been racing ever since the green flag dropped for stage 2 here. And we saw the 10 there just get 2 tires. It looked like he got him down on the yellow line there in turn 1 and 2. And had to check up a lot. Lost a lot of time. And he, let's see how he makes it through turn 3 and 4. But he may get out of the draft. It does look like he's able to keep his speed up through turn 3 and 4 there. So he does stay in the draft. The 38 of Ryan Johnson staying in front of this lead pack, but as we say that, the 22 of Chris Wheeler dropping down to that bottom line, which is the shortest way around this track, but not necessarily the fastest. And you can see he will come out there behind the 38. Looks like he lost a bit of a time, going to allow that number 10 truck there of Luke Smith to get underneath him. And now Luke is going to ride that preferred line, second lane up there, and he's going to make that pass. We'll go back up here and check on our leaders here. We've actually still status quo up here. We've got Michael Gichel in the lead. Right behind him, Jeff Ramsdale in 3rd place, William Klingbeil in 4th, Mark Ackerman, and these and in 5th, Adam Benefiel. So these 5 have been just nose to tail ever since we went green here on stage 2. Just staying in the draft, taking it easy. I believe we'll see them start making their aggressive moves later on in stage 3. We'll check in here on Matthew Kopp, who is running it in the Xfinity Series car class. He's about 13 seconds off the lead. Looks like he's about 6 seconds off of the car in front of him, the 39 of Roger Muth. It looks like he's been out here by himself most of the race, just kind of running his own pace. You know, car looks very clean. Doesn't look like he's had any incidents where he's gotten up into the wall. But unfortunately about 6 seconds off of the car in front of him. It's going to be a lot of time to make up, especially if he's pacing himself, trying to save the tires to the end of the fuel run. You can't save too much. So, you know, one of the trickiest things here in iRacing with these stock cars is figuring out how much to push and when. But I can tell you one guy that looks like he's figured it out is the number 39 here, Roger Muth, in the Xfinity Series car. He's been the lead Xfinity Series car all night. And we've got someone in pit lane, Matthew Kopp. And David Gilbert, the 7 truck there, is coming out of the pits. Looks like Matthew Kopp's got a little bit of right side damage, so I was just talking about how he was keeping it clean. He may have gotten into the wall there a bit. Looks like he has a nice pit entry though, doesn't make any mistakes. Check in here with the trucks again. The number 38 there, Ryan Johnson, pulling away. He's got about half a second gap there between him and the 22 of Chris Wheeler. And then right behind Wheeler, we've got the number 10 of Luke Smith. And it looks like one of the trucks, Kevin Bernheimer, into the pits here. Gonna try a bit of an undercut on the other 3 there, where he may be reacting to the number 7 of David Gilbert, who did stop the lap before. And in my experience with the trucks or any stock car is on these longer races, you do not want to be the last one to pit. The tire degradation, the lap speed difference between fresh tires and old tires is just so much so that if you pit a lap or 2 later than the car that pitted before you, that can equate to 5-10 seconds of, you know, gap time that you could lose just from trying to extend your run that much further.
Yeah, you want those fresh tires as soon as possible.
Looks like the 38, the 22, and the 10 here are going to stay out another lap, so they're looking to stretch it out. We're coming up on right at 10 minutes left in stage 2 before the stage break does happen. And everybody here pitted on lap 44 that we're looking at. So we're on lap 68 now. They have got to be hitting the tail end of a fuel run here. So we expect these guys to dive down in the pit road here any minute now. Looks like the 68 there of David Desparos is coming out of the pit lane, just took his green flag pit stop. Oh, we've got the 22 of Chris Wheeler coming in. So out of that 3 pack there, Ryan Johnson, Luke Smith, Chris Wheeler, the 22 is going to be the first one to come down to pit road. And we'll see where he comes out on the track in comparison to the other 2 who are going to go around another lap. Looks like the 10 and the 38 are going to come down pit road now. .38 got a little out of shape there, but I don't believe there's going to be any penalty. Looked like he got it slowed down enough. I'll watch for the mistake breaking into his pit box. Perfect. So didn't slide through it. We're good. And we'll see Chris Wheeler here coming out of, what is that, turn 4. And you can see the 38 there, right there on the bottom of the track in turn 1 there. And the 22 is gonna leapfrog past him, and that's what we were. Whoa, 22 getting major loose. Oh, he saves it from going into the wall, but we do have a self spin. No caution for that. The admins did say before the race they would only throw cautions if there was a 3-car incident or more. And everything he made up there from that pit stop just lost with that mistake. Just got a little bit loose coming out of turn 2 there. We'll go back and take a look at that. You can see he was just pushing it. He was riding on the bottom of those fresh tires, and just got a little loose and brought it around, unfortunately. But we do see here the 28 of Kevin Bernheimer and the 38 of Ryan Johnson battling it out here for this 9th spot, or first place if you're looking at the class battle. So first place in their class. But the 28 did pit before the 38, gained a lot of track position. But that 38 there, Ryan Johnson's gonna take that high line and make that pass stick going down the backstretch here.
And we did have a battle for the lead. Looks like the lead cars are pitting right now.
Yep. It looks like all 4, we'll get a better camera view. Yep, all the top 4 are pitting. It looks like the number 9 of Adam Benefield tried to get slowed down and get into the pits, but just couldn't do it. So he's going to go around one more time, but he's going to lose a ton of time being out of the draft. And, you know, that lap time is going to be very bad because he tried to slow down and get on pit road, but didn't make it.
24 car there is having little issues.
Yep, he overshot the pit box, then backed up, and not sure he ever got in the pit box. Or it looks like he just took a splash of fuel, because the stage break will end in about 5.5 minutes. And these guys, you know, we saw in the last stage break, they all came down the pit road, took tires and fuel. So looks like that 24 car just took fuel that time.
He's hanging with the 83. Pretty good.
Yep, it looks like these next-gen cars just have a ton of downforce.
Tires don't
And
mean so much.
tires probably don't mean as much, and draft means probably everything here. check up here on the 48, who has about a 4-second gap between him and the 83. So that's a pretty big gap. We'll see how quickly the 83 here reels him in. Looks like he was about 0.2 faster that lap. Actually, about 0.3 as they came across the line, so definitely faster. And he'll probably reel him in maybe before the stage 2 caution comes out, but a 3.5-second gap is quite a bit to make up. Just checking in here on our 6th place, but first in the Xfinity Series class here, Roger Muth, currently about 14 seconds ahead of the number 2 Xfinity Series car, Matthew Kopp there. So Roger's just out there running a race all of his own, no pressure. And then it looks like we've got the 38 here of Ryan Johnson just coming across the line. And then the number 28 of Kevin Bernheimer about a second behind him. And we do see these trucks have gotten spread out now. We'll check in
About
with
3 minutes left.
Yep, got about 3 minutes left. The stage 2 caution will come out at the 60-minute mark. We're at the 57-minute mark now. I'm going to check in here with the number 7 truck of Dave Gilbert Jr. here, who was involved in an early incident. Got into the wall, damaged the right side of his truck. It looks like he has taken a quick repair, got that truck fixed up. Currently a lap down from the lead pack, but he is on the same lap as his class is, just quite a few seconds back here. And then behind him, Chris Wheeler, who was involved in that self-spin just a few laps ago in that last green flag pit cycle. And looks like he's running as hard as he can now to make up some of that time that was lost. And we can see that gap for the lead up here with our next gen cars. The 48 is about 2.8 seconds in front of the number 83 of William Klingbeil. So it looks like over the past 2 laps he's made up about a second, but it looks like the stage 2 caution is going to come out before he's able to make up that whole 2.7 seconds that is separating the two. Check in here with the 39 of Roger Muth, who is our lead Xfinity Series car. Has about a 19-second gap back to Matthew Kopp, the number 46, who has a bit of right side damage, was caught up in a little bit of a self incident there where he got into the wall. Caused a bit of an aero damage, and you can definitely see that is affecting his lap time. So he's just hanging on until that stage 2 caution comes out in about 30 seconds. Then we should see everybody hit pit road, take a quick repair, get fresh tires, full load of fuel, and then they will battle it out for the remaining stage, 35 minutes in stage 3. And we'll hopefully see an exciting race there for the win. See that gap down to 2.5 seconds.
Yellow flag.
And the stage 2 caution is out, so everybody will catch up. Queue behind the pace car. We'll have everybody will get a chance to go down pit road. Some waiver rounds will be given, get everybody back on the lead lap, and then we'll go green for that final stage. Just checking in here, the 38 of Ryan Johnson was our lead truck there when that yellow came out. The 10 of Luke Smith was not able to reel him in, so he's going to be that second truck there. And then right behind him, Kevin Bernheimer and Dave Gilbert Jr. rounding out your Truck Series drivers, with Chris Wheeler, the last one there, who was involved in that self-spin. But everybody's going to get queued back up behind the pace car here and pit. And with that, we'll take a short break while everybody is pitting. We'll stay live here. You can watch the pit cycles, and we'll be right back in just a minute. All right, and we're back. It looks like pit cycles have wrapped up, and they will be going green this time around. Out front, we've got the 9 of Adam Benefield, who looks like he's pulled another pit strategy here to leapfrog into the lead. His pit time was, again, half of what everyone else's was, so that tells us he either took 2 tires or no tires and fuel only, but definitely looking to gain some track position there from the number 9 as he jumped in front of the 48, Michael Gachel, who was our leader at the end of stage 2 in the next gen series cars. But right behind him, the number 83 there of William Klingbeil, who led all or most of stage 1. I can tell you in the second stage, or the last stage here, he's going to be looking to see about regaining that lead. And we'll see just what happens there with the 9 on older tires. The 48 having to battle that 9. We could see the 83 here take an early lead as they come to the green flag here. And we are already 3 and 4 wide here. As you can see, two of the trucks there. It looks like most of the trucks are taking the high line. The next gen car is on the bottom. We've got the 38 of Ryan Johnson there out front for the trucks. Some more great 3-wide action here out back. And I'm watching this number 10 here, Luke Smith. He was very fast in stage 2. I'm looking for him to make an early move here and take that top spot in the trucks from the 38 there, Ryan Johnson. And you can see he's down on the bottom line. Got 2 tires below the yellow line there, and you saw a bit of a wiggle out of him, but it looks like he was able to stay in the throttle and keep going. Let's check out the view from the number 22 here, Chris Wheeler, who is riding behind this great battle in front of him. You can just hear there from the onboard audio there, he has to lift quite a bit going into turn 3 and 4 to keep down on the bottom. We'll go back out front here. We've still got the 48 of Michael Gachel out front, the 83 of William Klingbeil in second on our next gen cars, the 37 of Mark Ackerman, and the 97 of Jeff Ramsdale. And we're watching the 83 here. We've got about a little under 30 minutes left in this stage. So the question is going to be, we know we have a green flag round of pit stops ahead of us. If you're the 83 car, Brian, and where are you going to make your move? Do you want to ride behind the 48, save fuel, save your tires, and try to beat them on pit strategy? Or do you want to get out front here?
Yeah, I haven't driven these cars, so I don't know how these cars drive, but in the cars that I am familiar with, I would choose to save fuel.
Yep, this stage is about 5 minutes longer than the previous 2 stages that were 30 minutes. This one's 35 minutes. So we could see a bit of a fuel strategy come into play here. And we'll ride on board the 48 here, who has popped up into the high line. He's actually, it looks like he basically let the 83 by. And these two may be working as teammates, maybe doing a little swap off to save fuel between the both of them. I can tell you, we're definitely not guilty of that, are we, Brian? Especially at super speedways. We never work together to save fuel.
No, we just sit in a Discord channel and don't really say much.
Definitely. We don't want to give anybody any ideas of anything different. But you can see these two have swapped positions. Got a great battle unfolding behind him there. The 37, the 9, and the 24 all swapping positions. Looks like the 9 got a great run there. Gonna take it 3 wide. 48 looks like he's shuffling on back. One thing I've noticed about the 9, it does look like he has a little bit of left side damage, but it doesn't look like it's slowing him down that much. But with these high downforce cars, you won't be able to tell really unless you get out front and outside of the draft.
And the 97 car did come into the pit that round.
Interesting. We have an early pit taker here. This could be a bit of a strategy play here from the 24. With about 25 minutes left in this final stage, pitting early, being able to make it on one stop, that could be the trick here tonight.
Single car though, how much does that draft matter?
Very true, very true. Well, he's by himself, no drafting partner. Let's check back in with our truck drivers and our Xfinity drivers here. We've got the 28 Kevin Bernheimer out front in front of the number 38 Ryan Johnson, and then the 10 of Luke Smith, the 22 of Chris Wheeler, and the 7 of David Gilbert wrapping up our Truck Series drivers here. But we've got a great battle between the 28 and the 39, who 39 is an Xfinity Series car. And again, we're seeing what we saw in stage 1, where the truck's cornering speed is so much higher as we're 3 wide coming off of turn 3. But the straight line speed of the Xfinity Series car with that higher horsepower, lower downforce, is just making these 2 different cars battle it out in ways that we didn't think was possible going into this. I can tell you, coming into this, if you would have told me that the Xfinity Series car and the trucks would be putting on a good show battling each other, I would have told you were crazy. But now I'm a believer.
The 97, yeah, the lead pack there is going to catch the 97, I believe.
Yep, and we're seeing that the 97 or 24, if you're looking at the Jeff Gordon paint scheme, who did pit early, is being reeled in by the leaders here and may go a lap down. So this will be a good test to see just how much that draft matters. And I can tell you right now, from what we're seeing, it matters a whole lot. It looks like the 24 there is going to get out of the way and let the leaders go by. As I say that, they actually kind of stalled out a bit there, and it looks like the 24 is now taking advantage of that, what do we want to call it, the draft bubble, basically, where you've got 4 cars behind them all pushing through, breaking through the air, and propelling the number 24 car there actually is taking advantage of the draft, even though he's out front and has picked up quite a bit of speed there. But the 83 now closing in, and he's going to look to the inside here on the backstretch. And just like that, the 24 is going to go a lap down with that pit cycle. And we've got a great battle brewing back here with our truck drivers. The 38, 28, and the 10 all jostling for position here. And this is some good racing. Let's ride on board with the number 10 here, who's in the 3rd place here in the Truck Series drivers. And I can tell you right now, I can sympathize with the number 10 of Luke Smith here. In my experience at Michigan, in the trucks, you're riding behind two that are running too wide. On old tires, it's very hard to tell which line is going to be predominant. The high line will get a much better exit off of the turns, and with these long straightaways, it seems like the high line is the preferred line. But it all comes down to how much did you save your tires versus everyone else. If you can get your truck to rotate and corner that much faster, you can make that bottom line work.
That is a very good advertisement placement for Oreo.
Definitely. Actually, maybe a little bit hungry there, but looks like the 28 of Kevin Bernheimer there is going to retain the lead truck status there with the 38 of Ryan Johnson right behind him. The number 10 of Luke Smith still trailing right behind him. And just like that, while we were watching that battle unfold, the number 9 of Adam Benefield took the lead. And remember, he is one of the ones that is trying a different pit strategy. Either took 2 tires or no tires to gain some track position there on that last stage caution. He does fall back to 2nd place. So remember, the 24 there is going a lap down as the 83 gets under him. So that is not for position, but the number 9 there in 2nd place took the lead for a couple laps and has now dropped back to 2nd place.
What's the time looking like? Is it they're going for another 15 minutes here?
Yep, we are just approaching a 15 minutes left in this final stage.
A lot of people in the pits.
And we do have a lot of takers to the pits here. Let's try to check in on those. Looks like most of our Truck Series drivers have taken to the pits except for Dave Gilbert Jr. And we've got the 39 of Roger Muth. in our Xfinity series, also in the pits. We'll see who wins the race off of pit road. I think it's going to be the 38 of Ryan Johnson there, with the number 10 of Luke Smith right behind him. But we can already see David Gilbert doing again what he did in stage 2 there, and extending, going long basically on his fuel run. Maybe hoping for a yellow flag. Really, if you're gonna go long, that's basically the only thing your strategy is hoping for. You're hoping for a yellow flag to come out, because these guys here, the number 10 and the number 38 and the number 28, who's about a second behind, all on fresher tires, they're going to be lapping around a second or two quicker than the number 7, who just dived down into the pits who was on older tires. We've got a great battle here unfolding between the number 10 and the number 38. Luke Smith, Ryan Johnson, these two have been battling all night long. And we are coming down to the final moments here of stage 3. Just a little under 14 minutes left. Luke Smith, currently the number 10, who I've been following all night long, is the lead Truck Series driver currently. Let's just see if he can hold off that number 38. That number 38 has been quick, especially on the short runs. The number 10, I feel like, has been better on the long runs tonight. Definitely changing up his lane, running that high line when he needed to. So let's see how he can hold off the number 38 here on these short runs. And while we were talking there, the Xfinity Series drivers just got shooken up a little bit. Roger Muth is still in the lead by a heavy margin, but David Desparos has jumped into the second place in the Xfinity Series here, with Matthew Kopp right behind him. And I'm just checking the pit status here. Pit lap. Oh. Gonna tell me here. Yeah, so Matthew Kopp pitted on lap 107. The 68 of David Desparos pitted on lap 103. Roger Muth lap 106. So David actually pitted 3 laps earlier to gain some track position, and it looks like it worked out for him, because he is in front of Matthew Kopp there by a few seconds. But we'll see just how much those 3-lap newer tires make a difference here in this long run.
Would you be able to go back and watch the 48 pit on 111?
48 pit. Let's see here. Michael Glitchell entered pit lane. Yep, we'll go back and watch that. So it looks like all 3. Oh, wow. The 37 locking his brakes up, having to go through the grass. Interesting. I wonder, in 37, looks like he loops it there. He's going to lose a ton of time. 48 most likely didn't get a penalty there. It looks like he got it slowed down just in time. But, oh, we've got one on the track there. 1 second. The 24 of Jeff Ramsdale with a heavy damage. Let's see if we can figure out what happened there.
That little pass didn't go too well.
Oh, wow. It looks like the number 9. Yep, just a little contact there going into turn 3 there. And gonna put the 24 up into the wall. And the 24 is going to come down the pit road. Going to have to take one of those quick repairs, but unfortunately we've only got about 10 minutes left in this final stage with, oh, it looks like the 48 have trouble. Looks like the 48 had to check up quite a bit there. I'm not sure what that's about. Let's see if we can go back and see. Yeah, it looks like he had about a self spin there, in turn 3 and 4. You got 2 tires below the apron. Got a little loose. Had to check up majorly there. And that's what put him about 4.3 seconds behind the number 1 car, or the first place car there, number 83 of William Klingbeil. All right, while all of that action was going on, it looks like our Truck Series drivers stayed in place here. So the number 10 of Luke Smith still in front of the number 38 there, but they are nose to tail. And while that's going on, we've got to talk about Matthew Kopp here. He has reeled in David Desparos about 2 seconds off here. Let's see if we can zoom out and just get a sense of how close these two are right here. I think Matthew Kopp, with a little under 9 minutes left, is going to be able to reel him in and make that pass. But the question of the night is going to be here with these Truck Series drivers. Is Ryan Johnson, does he have anything for the number 10 there of Luke Smith? 38 of Ryan Johnson led most of the laps in the Truck Series here. But that number 10 came out strong, coming out of the pits here on this last pit stage, and has held it out front, in front of that number 38 ever since.
So I did see something interesting here. The number 97 car came into pits speeding, hit the wall, and it exited his car.
Wow, okay, so that's one of our next gen cars, Jeff Ramsdale, who was involved in one of those early or recent accidents and had heavy damage when the 9 car got into him. It looks like he is going to, the number 97 there is going to end his night. All right, so it looks like Matthew Kopp here gonna make a move. He has caught the number 68 of David Desparos. Gonna dive down to the inside here. Fresher tires by about 4 laps and gonna make that pass nice and clean. And we'll see if David can come back at him here. We've only got about, let's see, showing about 7 minutes left in this final stage. It looks like Matthew Kopp is going to make that pass and come out in front. And showing a larger gap between the number 10 and the 38 here in our Truck Series drivers here, between Luke Smith and Ryan Johnson. Not sure if the 38 made a mistake there while we were watching that other battle, or if the number 10 is just pulling away. Got clean air on his nose, where he's been in the pack most of the night and making some great lap times right now. Meanwhile, check in here on our next gen series. The leader tonight, William Klingbeil, the number 83, about 2.8 seconds in front of Michael Gichel. But we do know that draft is very beneficial here in these high downforce cars, and we'll just watch this lap right here to see the difference between the lap times. Looks like the 48 is going to be about a tenth or two faster. Coming across the line here, we'll be able to tell. William Klingbeil running a 40.8 and Michael Gichel running a 40.6, so about 2/10 of a second faster, but with only about 5 minutes left in the stage, I don't believe that's going to be enough. Meanwhile, here we've got the number 10 and the 38 Truck Series drivers still battling it out. And it looks like just what I called earlier. It looks like the 10 of Luke Smith is just quicker on the long runs, was able to manage his tires better, and is starting to pull away from the number 38. And we can see the number 38 of Ryan Johnson there trying the bottom line, which typically on older tires is not going to be the quickest way around this track. But in his position, being about a second behind Luke Smith there, he's got to try anything he can to try to make up that distance as we close into the last 4 minutes of the stage. We'll just check in here on everyone else just to make sure we're not missing any close battles. The timing can be a little bit difficult to manage here with a multi-class race, so we're going to do this the old school way and just check all the cameras.
Yeah,
So
it looks like everybody's pretty spread out.
Yeah, that's what we're seeing here. It looks like the second place car in the Next Gen Series, the number 48 of Michael Gachel, is about 2.3 seconds. So he's brought that down from 2.6 seconds 2 laps ago. But again, we've only got about 3.5 minutes left in this final stage before the end of the race. He's just not making up as much ground as he needs to. Oh, seeing quite a bit. Did we have a mistake there from the 83? Lost quite a bit of time. He might have been going around that lap car there, but he lost roughly 3 or 4 tenths that lap. And that gap is down to just under 2 seconds. Oh, he takes to the apron, the number 48 there, Michael Gachel, to get around the 68 of David Asparos. But 1.9 seconds off of the leader there, the number 83 of William Klingbeil. Coming down to 3.5 minutes left in this final stage. It looks like he's going to need another 5 minutes and he'd have him, but unfortunately that's just not how it goes tonight. Check back in here on the number 10. Number 10 with a healthy gap. Actually, the 38 of Ryan Johnson on pit road. Interesting. Looks like he's got a bit of right side damage. I don't know if this is a scheduled pit stop or just coming in to repair that damage, but could we see a bit of fuel strategy come into play here? You can see the 22 of Chris Wheeler is going to go in front of the number 10, so the number 10's going to, I'm sorry, the number 38 of Ryan Johnson is going to lose quite a bit of positions here with that green flag pit stop, so I'm not sure what's going on there. Something we will pay attention to, though, as the number 10 of Luke Smith is still our leader in the truck series here. Checking in with our leader of the Next Gen Series. 1.8 second gap there between the 83 and the 48. And then in our Xfinity Series cars, we've got the 39 Roger Muth, who is got a healthy lead there over the 46 of Matthew Kopp. And we see the 7 there of David Gilbert Jr. Gonna go another lap down there to the 83 of William Klingbeil. Again, no harm, no foul though. Multi-class racing. Those next gen cars are expected to go faster, and Dave Gilbert Jr. knows his races with the other trucks out there. Oh, the 10 of Luke Smith is in pit lane, so that was a scheduled pit stop that we saw the 38 dive down into the pits. It looks like Luke Smith was trying to stretch it out and make it work to the end, but not going to make it. So is the 38 going to leapfrog around him? Let's see if we can get a better view.
That's 10 seconds left.
10 seconds left. So this should be the white flag. As you can see there, The 38 is going to go around the number 10. The number 10 there on the apron of the track. 38 going to make this work. So pit strategy coming into the 38's hands. But the 22, we haven't even talked about the 22. Chris Wheeler leapfrogs to the lead here. This should be our last lap. Actually, we just took the checkered flag there. So 22, Chris Wheeler in our truck series, making it work on that pit strategy. 38 of Ryan Johnson getting in front of the 10, but ultimately Chris Wheeler there with that strategy, making it work. And we saw our winner here of the Next Gen Series, the 83, did outlast there the 48. But we're going to go back here, just check in with the 22. He is going to take the win for the Truck Series. Whoa, quite a bit of action there in the last minute. So let's recap here. We will show our results as soon as everybody crosses the line here. We will get everybody, we'll show the results, but unofficial results right now, we've got William Klingbeil, the 83 in the Next Gen Series, taking the win for that class. We've got Roger Muth, the 39 Xfinity Series driver, taking the win for the Xfinity Series class. And then we've got Chris Wheeler, the number 22 Truck Series driver, taking the win for that class, who was involved in an earlier accident, made the pit strategy work, came back and actually beat the 38 and the 10 there, Ryan Johnson and Luke Smith. Incredible drive by him. Interesting race. All right. Well, we will do some interviews here if we can. We'll get the top three. So the first place of each class, we'll bring them up in here and speak to them. And it doesn't look... We'll give a few minutes for the overall winner of William Klingbeil to make it in, but we've got the other two in here, so we'll bring them in. Hey, Chris, this is Kevin up in the booth. You got a copy?
Hey, Kevin, how you doing? Can you hear me?
Yeah, we got you. So congratulations on winning it for your class. I tell you, the last 5 minutes there were action-packed. We were just all over the place. But it looks like you ultimately came home with the victory in your class based on pit strategy. So just walk us through your night. What was your strategy going into this with a 3-stage multi-class racing? What was your strategy? Were you able to stick to it? And, you know, what was ultimately going through your mind there in those last few laps?
I didn't really have much of a strategy, just kind of figured it out as I went. And I knew that last stage I'd have to get to about 15 minutes left to be able to make it on fuel, and I couldn't quite make it to that run out coming to my pit stall. And so I seen the leaders got good 4 or 5 seconds on me on that pit stop, so I just went into fuel saving mode from there and just started lifting every corner.
Hey man, it looked like that was the play. It ultimately got you the win there. We didn't think you were in contention based on, I believe you were in an early accident there, maybe a self spin. Is that correct?
Yeah, I tried a little strategy and took 2 tires and wasn't quite ready for it. It was pretty free.
Oh, okay. Yeah, that brings my memory back. That's right. You were on, you took 2, you were coming out on your out lap there and going in, I believe it was turn 1 and 2 there, just got away from you. But, ultimately it came back into your hands there, that fuel saving strategy that you played there toward the end, netted you the win for your class. So congratulations, man. Hell of a run. While you're here, is there anybody you want to give a shout out to?
I'd just like to thank Dave Gilbert and all the admins with Split Decisions Racing, Butt Kicker. We just got our awesome butt kickers in. Can't wait to get them installed. And just everybody for tuning in. I appreciate you, Kevin, for broadcasting tonight. I appreciate it.
Yeah, no problem. And again, congratulations on that win in your class. A hell of a drive. I can tell you, me and Brian here, we love seeing a strategy play come in at the end there, because it's one thing to go fast, and it's another to be going fast out there while you're doing strategy. Doing that math in your head, and that really separates what they'll say, the men from the boys. So congratulations again. And yeah, heck of a way to end the season.
Yeah, I really appreciate it. It was nice to finally have the strategy work out for me. It's been a while since I've had it work.
Absolutely. All right.
I
Well, take care.
appreciate it. Yep, you have a good one.
Right. We'll bring Roger Muth up in here. Hey, Roger, it's Kevin up in the booth. You got a copy?
Yeah, we got a copy, guys.
Hey, congratulations on winning it for your class there in the Xfinity Series cars. It looked like you were out there pretty much by yourself as far as in your class, but you were having some great battles with the Truck Series drivers there. But just walk us through your night. What was your strategy going into this race? And, ultimately, did you stick to that strategy, or did you have to make some changes as you went on?
Now, the strategy we played here tonight was we were just coming out, having some fun. We didn't want to tear up the old car. Of course, we have our head on the car. We don't want to tear that up. It looks too beautiful, So it was pretty much just keep the car out of the wall and keep all 4 fenders on it, keep the tires still on her at the end of this race, and it was good. We didn't get much practice. We normally don't put too many laps down here on iRacing. We're usually like you guys up in the booth having a good time watching all this crazy fun excitement out here. But qualified it on the outside front row, and those first 15 laps were those Cup cars and those trucks with the fresh tires. They don't have to lift. They put on one heck of a show. It was white knuckle there when they were the inside and the outside of me. So we just did our thing and raced a smart race. We just knew we had to run the Xfinity cars. We didn't have to go out there and beat the Cup cars or the trucks necessarily, but we beat a couple of them here tonight. All in all, the end of this one, it's clean, and we're here talking to you guys.
Absolutely. Yeah, that was one of the things that really surprised us up here in the booth tonight watching this, was the corner speed that the trucks had was just that much more than what you guys had in the Xfinity Series cars. But down the straightaway, you guys would just reel them back in. So it actually turned out you guys were putting on a hell of a show between each other. Trucks, Xfinity Series, some tight racing, some multiple lines running. It was very exciting up here in the booth, I can tell you that. But we noticed you finished quite far ahead in front of your second place in your class there, Matthew Kopp. Were you ever worried about pit strategy during this race? Because we saw a very pleasant surprise in the Truck Series where someone actually won it on pit strategy. Wasn't the fastest truck out there, but made the fuel savings work. So I'm just curious, were you worried about that at all tonight?
I was monitoring the gap all night long, right from the start when Matt actually dropped back there a little bit through the field. I don't know if he just didn't want to get caught up with the Cup cars, knowing that they were faster and whatnot. But once we got through that first round of pit cycles, I noticed that we did have a little bit of a gap. It was like 10 to 12 seconds or something after we came out of pit road. And just watching that, continuously watching that gap, I knew we had a really fast car in a long run. So as long as we could pit around the same time, I figured we were going to be pretty good. And as soon as our pit window opened up, we brought the car down pit road. And when I came out and I saw the gap was pretty much the same, holding strong right there around 20 seconds, I knew we were pretty good as long as we kept all 4 fenders on her. And that's what we did here.
Gotcha. So just curious, based off of the way you were talking there, did you have a real spotter, a real person spotter tonight?
I get that a lot when I do actually get to come out here on the NASCAR side of things. And no, there's no spotter out there telling us. We just have our fancy little dash set up with our widgets over here that give us those live feed information. And actually, I think I saw over there on the broadcast, you actually guys, you have that information there for use too.
Absolutely. Yeah. So, that's one of the things we talk about up here in the booth a lot is just how beneficial a real life spotter can be. It's one thing to be driving the wheels off a car and paying attention to some of those statistics and things from your overlays, but having a real person in your ear, paying attention to what the other guys are doing and relaying that information to you can be hugely beneficial. So I will say, you not having that tonight, just kudos to you for maintaining the strategy and able to hold off Matthew Kopp there as he tried to play the strategy a little bit. But ultimately, you came away with the win in your class. A heck of a way to end the season. So we just want to give you the chance here while you're here. Is there anybody you want to give a shout out to?
Yeah, first and foremost, I got to thank you guys for stepping in here tonight. I got to thank all the guys over at the Turn 3 Racing Network. I got to thank all my guys that are actually watching over here on Facebook Live here. Thanks to Doug and Leo and all the guys that are out there watching right now, still continuing to watch. They've been here the whole time. I think they popped over with you guys too, so I thank them for tuning in over with you guys. But other than that, I just got to thank Dave and all the guys over here with the Split Decisions Racing League for letting me jump in here tonight. I normally don't because, normally I'm behind the mic like you guys, and we just don't have a lot of time to come out here and enjoy racing like this. It was a great race here tonight, so kudos also to all the drivers in this league. And once again, guys, thanks for what you do for the sim community.
Absolutely. Again, congratulations on your win in your Xfinity Series class, and take care tonight. All right, we will bring, I'm not sure if our overall winner, William Klingbeil, is in here or not, but we're going to bring David up in here. So, David, it's Kevin up in the booth. You got a copy?
Yeah, how's it going, bud?
Hey, so heck of a race we saw tonight. I can tell you, definitely kept us on our feet up here in the booth. Multi-class, multiple different strategies, all going on at the same time. Last 5 minutes of the race was just insane, I can tell you that much. But it looks like you ultimately came away with a second place finish in your class there in the truck series, while it looked like with about 5 minutes to go you were running toward the tail end, but it looks like the pit strategy worked out for you. So just curious, was that a planned pit strategy toward the end or unplanned, and what was your strategy there for that last stage?
Yeah, it was planned. So the whole last stage, the first before I pitted, I started saving fuel, and I was running like 90% throttle down the straightaways and 70% throttle in the corners, which the trucks you can stay wide open all the way around. And I saved fuel so that the second after I pitted, I was able to go wide open while everybody else was trying to save fuel. And yeah, I saved enough fuel to. But I actually had another gallon left, so I saved too much fuel. So it's kind of worse than not having, running out of fuel, really.
I got you. Yeah, no, that's good to hear that you had that strategy there in that last stage. It looked like, as we were watching everything unfold, it looked like Ryan Johnson there in the 38 and Luke Smith in the 10 were the trucks to beat. They were out there just pounding away fast lap after fast lap, battling like crazy. But always in the back of our mind, we had to wonder, with this final stage being 5 minutes longer than the previous ones, were they burning up too much fuel? Were they going to have to make it a two-stopper? Were they going to make it on a one-stopper? And I tell you, within the last 5 minutes there, we got our answer. You and Chris Wheeler leapfrogged into the, in front of them there because you guys were working the strategy right. So again, just, kudos to both of you for playing the strategy right tonight. And a heck of a way to end the series here with this Triple Threat Challenge fundraise tonight. So just want to give you the opportunity. Is there anybody you want to give a shout out to while you're here?
Sure. I want to thank you guys for broadcasting this at the last minute, man. You guys are awesome. The other admins in the league, a lot of them are on vacation or doing other things, but Kevin Bernheimer, Nate Johnson, Tyler Rush, Thomas Myers, them guys are rock stars. Vinny Tabey, they are rock stars in our league, and our sponsors. Obviously, we gave away this season. We just gave everybody got them today delivered, but we got 9 butt kickers delivered to our drivers. Top 3 in each series got butt kickers this year, and Turtle Shells Design, they do awesome paint jobs. And we also have McConey Setup Shops who will be sponsoring us this next season. So thank them for coming on board and being a great partner for us.
I tell you, man, that I just met you guys tonight, but I really do just want to give you a shout out for what you guys do and what this series is for, being the split decisions development and keyword development series there. I really like what you guys are doing. You've got a whole mix of drivers from inexperienced to super experienced, and we saw it here tonight. I don't think there's any better way to learn how to go faster and gain experience in iRacing than to race with people that are better than you. And you have just created the ultimate league for that by allowing a whole mix of drivers to come out here night after night, compete not only with each other in their class, but also have some close racing with some of the more experienced classes. So like tonight, for example, we saw the Xfinity Series drivers and the Truck Series drivers running close for the first 10 laps of a tire stage, fuel stage there, which is just amazing to see. So again, just, shout out to you guys here in the Split Decisions Development Series for putting on this league. We don't see many leagues like this. So it's just refreshing to see and to hear you guys talk about getting sponsors coming on, getting equipment into guys' hands. That's just amazing to hear. So yeah, it was a ton of fun broadcasting tonight. Great way to end the season. Good finish for you. I'd say this is a pretty good night. Go have a beer for yourself, and we'll see what next season brings. How about that?
Yeah, I appreciate it. Thank you very much. Like I said, thanks for broadcasting it. And if anybody ever wants to run a series like this, we created them tiers on purpose. They're cup level drivers, are expert drivers. We have expert, intermediate, and novice drivers in our series, and it's meant that to be that way. We team them up. This past season, we teamed up cup drivers with an Xfinity and a truck driver, so you have a built-in teammate and somebody to lean on for advice. That's a teammate. Then they benefit by giving out advice. So that's what our league is meant to be. It's a family atmosphere.
Absolutely. And that's just, again, great series you guys got going on here. Check them out on Facebook, Split Decisions Development Series, if you're interested. And yeah, great end of the season. Again, congratulations on your finish, and couldn't ask for a better way to send out.
Yep, thank you. Have a great day, guys.
You too. Take care. All right, and that'll wrap it up tonight. Brian, I'm going to put you on the spot. What was your number one takeaway tonight?
I need to drive the next gen cars.
I was just sitting here saying the same thing. It looks like the amount of downforce they have compared to the previous gen is just astronomical. So looks like it's a totally different beast. Got to get out there and put some laps in it. Looks like it drives totally different.
And it looks like the strategy is different too. They stay single file for a long time, and I'm kind of curious why that is.
Yeah, in the Gen 6 cars that we run, the Cup League we run, generally dirty air in that second place car is a big deal. So you want to be out front, but here it seemed like William Klingbeil, who ultimately won it, unfortunately wasn't in Discord, so we can't talk to him. Ran second most of that last stage, which is, it's just totally different from the Gen 6 car. So I'm with you there. We need to turn some laps in that next gen car. It's coming. A whole different beast, a whole different strategy. But again, yeah, thanks everyone for tuning in here. This is Soak Tires Broadcasting, the Split Decisions Development Series. This was their final race, fun race of this season. Their next season will be starting up soon, so check them out on Facebook. And with that, we're going to be signing off.